Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our second game of the day for the Mythic League. The last week of it, we've got our two of our top teams right now, SGR and Team OOD, playing for control of second place right now, heading into the final day tomorrow. And I'm expecting a lot of hype out of this match. What about you, Sherigan?
I'm expecting a lot of hype, mostly just because of the fact that these are two teams that, like you said, are fighting for second place. So that is the coveted I get to choose who I go up against spot. And that's one of those situations where these two teams are probably going to be going at it and clawing tooth and nail for every bit of advantage they can get. It kind of sucks for SGR because it looks like they missed out on a ban. I'm not exactly sure why, but probably a substitution error or something. Looking at these bans, though, we are already seeing that the Draven and the Lilia both getting taken away from Soximus and Photograph. Really good choices, I think, on the side of SGR if you have limited bans. And then getting rid of the Viego Victor as well for Street Smurf and Demon Lord Nanoid. We've seen both of those guys do some fantastic work with those champs.
Yeah, and Gwen is still up, so we could see a Gwen here. I'd love to see that. I know Gwen.
We do, and I know that Antunes. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I know that Antunes is really happy right now seeing that Seraphine pick up. Seraphine, really good spot right now still.
Yeah, Seraphine is still really strong, especially after the Moonstone buffs. They've put her in a good position, and even her current buffs, they gave her more shield on her W. I'm not sure that's how that's supposed to. It was supposed to help her solo laning. I'm not sure how it does it, but as a support, great. Now your AD carry gets to live with even more shields.
You know, it's like shields are one of those things where it's just free damage protection. It's like you don't have to spend on MR, you don't have to spend on armor, and you just kind of block all damage. Doesn't matter if it's true, doesn't matter if it's anything like that. So
yeah, it's free real estate in the words, in the words indeed, but. We'll have to see what AD carry they take with it, as Tristana is taken by OOD. Tristana is still one of the strongest AD carries in the game right now, and it's going to be the Kai'Sa for SGR coming through with that Seraphine.
So that's the second Kai'Sa we've seen today. Admittedly, I think Kai'Sa into a Tristana is a little bit easier than a Kai'Sa into a Samira, but it's still not an easy matchup. I think that they're really going to need to pick... I don't know if Seraphine support is the best idea. Into a Tristana and whatever champion they pick up for the support on the side of Udyr. But we do have a Kayn pickup on the side of SGR. Blue Kayn is in one of those positions right now where he's just absolutely ridiculously strong and is a nightmare if you allow him to get to a point in the game where he can jump on your backline. So my guess is we're probably going to see that, and then some really tanky top lane or supports coming out of SGR coming up next.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll depend, though, also, which one he goes with, depending on OD's comp. If they just run straight melee from here, he's going to have to probably go Red King, because his only option for Blue Souls will be that Tristana, at least for right now. But I would assume, they're going to probably pick, like, a mage mid on OD's side, maybe something like, Orianna might be actually really good with a Camille and a Volibear, really good initiation right there. So that could come out. We could see something like a Victor, also or even Rumble. We haven't seen the Rumble ban yet for Big Twig. We do know he loves that champion.
We do know that he loves that champion. And I am personally of those opinions where I get why people you go with whatever you get first on Kayn, even if you've only got the one source of ranged being Tristana. We got the Alistar ban coming out, which is actually a really important ban coming out from Udyr, because an Alistar Kai'Sa combo is just so devastating when played correctly. And so by getting rid of that, you've already gotten rid of the Thresh on the side of SGR as well, so you kind of eliminated technically three if you include Galio, of some of the better supports for a Kai'Sa, so that they kind of blocked themselves into a corner, especially with that early Leona ban. Lots of supports getting knocked out in these bans right now.
Yeah, and I guess that means for OD that they're assuming that this is not going to be a Seraphine support. They're guessing it's going to be on for Street Smurf to play it mid lane. So then a Nautilus comes out. So as a Kai'Sa, I would be a little bit scared of that. If you get hooked, Tristan is just going to maul you when she jumps. So got to play extra careful. Braum is still up, though. That could be a good counter there. Throw up the shield. Yeah, you'll get hooked, but you'll be able to save your AD carry. You can also block some of the damage from Tristana. Could be a good option. We'll have to see if they grab that. And it is going to be the Braum.
Braum is a great pick right here, just because of the fact that you're going to have that negation from his shield wall. As mentioned, you're just going to have that extra tank, which you desperately need on SGR, because OOD's comp is a hard front to back, and they want to dive into your backline as hard as they possibly can. Tristana jumping in and out like crazy. Nautilus Hook's going to be flying in from every direction. We do have the Gwen pickup. So if we're looking at SGR's comp, they are looking for that early game advantage. They want to get ahead really quickly. They want to finish this game out as quickly as possible. OOD definitely currently looking to scale in towards the later part of the game. As long as they're able to shut down this Kayn, I feel like they're going to be in a good position. But other than that, SGR's comp is going to be really tough for them to deal with early on.
Yeah, and it's a Fizz coming out for OOD into the Seraphine. Interesting matchup. I know, Fizz does very well into immobile mages because he can just, especially Seraphine, he can jump over the E. But, he is going to be pretty easily bullied at this level of play. I feel like Fizz struggles more because he can be bullied out so easily in lane because of his melee range and because he can't clear waves very well without using his one escape tool. So we'll have to see how that goes. But, looking at this comp, who do you think is going to win? So I know you were talking about SGR having stronger, early on, OOD also having some good late game. But who right now, based on this full comp you see, do you think is going to take this?
So looking at this full comp, I still think Gwen is a little bit overtuned, and Seraphine just being in such a good spot with the Moonstone buffs that I'm putting the edge on SGR if they're able to finish it out before 35 minutes. Once it starts hitting that 35-minute mark, I really think that OOD is going to be a little bit tougher to deal with just because the Tristana's damage is going to be so high, and then the amount of mobility available for the Fizz and Camille is it's going to be really, really tough for SGR to actually get their damage out and not get blown up in the process.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how that goes. We'll have to see if SGR can win it quicker, if OOD can finally cement themselves and put themselves into second place as we head on to the Rift for our second game of the day. SGR versus OOD.
And like I said, see right here, early game comp, it's definitely in the favor of SGR, so they're looking for that 5-man gank. It does look like Demon Lord Nanoi was spotted out, so he's scaring Bob Jones away by himself.
Yeah, and it is the Conqueror on the Kayn, so I'm guessing he's going red Kayn then in that regard. Bob Jones does get some damage. Socksmith on the side here. So I actually think red Kayn is the smart move here. He provides extra tankiness, and he can sustain through a fight. It can also get the knock-up, which would be very beneficial for his team, especially like if you've got a Gwen, you can get a knock-up, give her time to get onto the target and get the Q out. Those scissor blades can cut quite a bit, but also just the beef. Jump in the volley bear, and then you pop out of him with the ultimate. You're back to full health, basically. So it's basically like you're bringing a sixth man to a fight in that regard.
It is, however, like the Hallowed Mist passive for Gwen just makes her so tanky. She just basically negates almost all of the damage that's going to be put out onto her once she's actually able to get that off. And I feel like that's going to be one of those situations which it does provide an opportunity for Demon Lord Nanai to go blue Kayn if he so chooses. We'll have to see how things play out. Look at that, Street Smurf. I think if I remember correctly, he's not the biggest fan of Seraphine from a play perspective because she really isn't that terribly exciting to play. She's just very powerful in her abilities.
Ooh, and that hook almost hitting Warplaque. And I agree that I'm not a big fan of Seraphine too. Ironic, I play a lot of her because while she is not exciting, the ultimate is a pretty big game changer in and of itself. And if she lands a 5-man ult this game, it is going to be an absolute nightmare for OOD. Even in the late game, if you get a 5-man ult and you give time for the Kayn and the Gwen just to immediately pop onto the carry and take them out, it can be a nightmare. And Hippote is doing very, very good work so far on this Gwen. Look at that damage coming out. He is trading so well right here. The scissors coming through with the ignite. Django is going to go down. He is Django Unchained from his life. First blood going over to SGR.
Yeah, he definitely had his life, his threads snipped away right there. So what I was going to say about Seraphine, I didn't get the opportunity to, is the fact that I still don't even own the champ.
Warplaque looking for some more damage. Antune's going to get out, though, having to burn some pots. But yeah, go. You were saying about him?
I still don't own Seraphine, like, as a champion. I refuse to purchase the champion because it stole Sona's rework. So that's just a personal preference thing there for me. But yeah, Seraphine, absolutely fantastic. And then up in the top lane, one thing that's really important to notice is the fact that Camille's shield, when she activates it against Gwen, is a AP shield. So a lot of the damage that's going to be coming out is not going to be AD, it's going to be mixed, and that is going to be really important for the damage profile for SGR. It's going to basically allow them to spread out their type of damage. It's going to make it really difficult to build tanky against them because there's so many different types of damage coming out.
Yeah, and see Kane roaming around. Demon Lord is here. He's going to try to get some hits. Gets out of there just fine.
With ganking a Fizz.
Yeah, Fizz is basically ungankable, but I mean, if you're doing well, you just shove the lane in as Seraphine. You push it in, just start roaming around. Fizz, you know, he can't really clear the way without that mobility. And Gwen, ooh, getting a hit there. Django going forward, trying to get a heal right there. But ooh, he is taking a lot in this trade. Ade's going to have to back out of there. Getting pretty low. He's going to have to burn his pots. But, you know, ooh, those scissors. They hurt. There's a reason they tell you not to run with scissors.
there is a reason, and I think like Apate's doing pretty well. Right there, that's going to be the biggest problem that SGR has got to avoid.
Frozen getting solo, goes down. Photograph grabs the kill now. Abate trying to go onto Django. He's going to get ignited. He's going to go down. 2 kills across the board for OOD. Wall to wall on this map.
Yeah, we kind of missed out exactly what happened there up in the top lane. I feel like that was probably a little bit of a misplay on the part of Abate. That was a really risky dive, though, for Camille.
Yeah, now Demon Lord going in. That's kind of a confusing play. He's getting super low. He's just going to blow up right now. And now Soximus is on the hunt. This bear, he smells that picnic basket in Warplaque's pocket. But Frozen shows up, scares him off. Big man with a giant door. Probably not what your bear wants to run into today. 3 kills now for OOD in the space of a minute. You know, this is... They've swung this game back already. It wasn't that big of a lead for SGR, but now almost 1,000 gold lead for OOD.
So the game momentum was in SGR's favor. This is kind of a situation where now we're starting to see a little bit of the individual play between each of these teams start to come into effect. SGR has got to stay calm. They've got to basically just kind of wait it out, scale it up a little bit, and try. They do have to finish early, but they do need to get their items and they do need to get their abilities leveled up because they're not like level 1 kill everything champs.
Yeah, and you know, I want to point out about Abate and Django. Something I noticed on the top side is Abate started that last fight out really low as it is, and he still almost took Django. Granted, it was a couple, like 2 turret shots onto him, but you know, that's the power of this Gwen array. Gwen at full health and a 1v1 with Camille, I think, can just straight take that fight, especially post level 6 when she gets the damage amplification from her ultimate. Maybe not if Soximus shows up here, which Abate is going to spot her out. Bear versus Scissors. Who wins? It's like rock, paper, bear. Scissors, paper, bear. Ooh, Demon Lord just goes over the wall. I think he was betrayed by Abate there and just gets taken out. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Frozen's going to go down. Photograph manages to get the kill. The heal not going to matter there. Well, it gets Photograph out, I guess. But with the Ignite, doesn't really do much. 2 more kills for OOD across the map. Again, they are making plays all over the place. And they might go for a 3rd here with this Fizz.
I understand what Frozen was trying to do by flashing back towards Warplaque. He was trying to get the Braum E off to dive out. Wasn't quite able to reach his target. He really should have kept Tristana closer to that tower and tried to play around that.
Level 6. Here we go. This is what we were talking about. Ooh, misses that last one. Getting some basic attacks in, trying to get something, but he is low. He's got to be careful. Django looking to get the dash in. Ooh, Abate gets his dash, and Django takes a turret shot. Ooh, these guys are playing with fire right now, or I guess scissors, because you know they're both blades. Dive. Okay.
I was gonna say that's the thing. It's like if you're gonna be engaging on these fights and you're gonna be getting as close as you are, you've got to hit your abilities. That was I think a missed ultimate and a couple of other missed abilities from Gwen. I believe she missed a couple of snips. And just wasn't able to get enough damage out onto Django. In the meantime, Django was able to get the critical.
Ooh. Django getting so low. Abate getting ignited. He is just going to go down. The ignite difference right there. Django goes on a killing spree, and oh, that's a sad little doll. Ooh, but
Oh,
the mid lane, Street Smurf getting jumped on by Bob Jones, but Bob Jones has nothing left. He has the Ignite, but he has no mana. He's got to run. Street Smurf burning pots too. Bob Jones on the run. Demon Lord is going after him. Street Smurf, don't get too close. It's a trap. Ooh, getting some damage there from Demon Lord. Bob Jones looking for his escape onto Street Smurf right there, but the turret's going to grab him. Ooh, he's going to dash. Is he going to get away? The speed boost from Demon Lord. He's looking for it. He's going to grab it with the Wolves. Kill back over to SGR as they finally start getting something going in this game again.
That was good pressure on SGR to keep the chase up, which is forcing Fizz to use his abilities and dive into the Wolves, which causes him to kill himself, essentially. That was a very risky play. And again, you have the mobility from Fizz to just avoid so much damage just by hopping up like that. And it just becomes really, really tough to just even fight him.
Yeah,
I know I always have an issue.
Yeah, it's something I struggle with too. I wouldn't want to fight that. And you know, Kane got so many stacks out of that. You saw like when he started chasing down on to Bob Jones, just a blast of health coming into him. Well, not health, but those little orbs coming in. We got so many attacks across the entire exchange. And now Soximus is up here looking to maybe go onto Hepate. Django, if he gets an ult right here, they might have an engage. Hepate and Django doing a lot of trading. Django does have a level lead though, but here comes Demon Lord. Django going forward, but Demon Lord is here. The bear dunks coming through. Soximus though doesn't manage to hit the turret with it. The ult from Hepate doing so much work, but Demon Lord goes down. And now Street Smurf is here, but Bob Jones as well. They can't continue to try for that kill. And Django's got double buff now. That's pretty scary for Hepate.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this is a situation of Django is now 4 kills to 1 death. He's up 3 kills in comparison to Gwen, and there's not a lot you can really do as Gwen at that point. You've lost your leads, so you've got to make sure that you're just focusing on farming up and trying to get back into this game because you're already down about 3 or 4 minion waves.
Oh, hang on, Soximus is coming back around. Django misses the dash, but Soximus is here. The bear is angry. Boo Boo, where is my picnic basket? Is it inside of her? Nope, but you know what? There's some gold in there. Picks up the kill.
Yeah. And like I said, if I were Soximus, I'd basically just camp top at this point because Photograph is so far ahead that Tristana is going to be useful at all stages of the rest of this game. That is a missed hook by Antoon. It's kind of rough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless he was trying to get that inch closer to the wall. In the case, it's not a miss. If you believe, if you hit the object, is it really missed?
Well, I think he would have rather hit the squishy flesh than the hard
true.
rock wall.
Absolutely true. Django shredding these plates on the top side is going to put even more gold in his pocket. I think he's going to have a full item on this back here as Hepate's got to try to find a way back into it. He had such a good early level, but you know, a couple kills start going into this Camille and it just starts getting out of control. And now Demon Lord chasing on to Soximus. He hasn't evolved yet. It becomes a whole different story. We get, you know, a 5th champion enters the game once Demon Lord gets to evolve that Kane. I'm not sure exactly how close he is right now. But I presume, based on all the souls he's got, he's probably pretty close.
I'd say it's more than likely he probably has his evolution at this point, and it's just going to be a decision of does he go ahead and go with Red Kane, or is he going to try and wait it out?
Photograph going forward. Just gets a couple of shots on him, but they spot Bob Jones. They're going to get out of there. Meanwhile, Django and Hepate dueling again. Django with a little dash towards him. Hepate trying to get away with the armor and MR from his mist, but it's only going to result in him taking a half health trade right there. But 2 people are on the roam up. Street Smurf and Demon Lord. They're going to look to try to grab this. There is a ward there. Street Smurf is spotted out. He's going to back down. But Demon Lord can sneak over through this wall. They don't see him right now. He's looking for jungle camps. And actually, I don't think he's just trying to spot out, see if there's anyone around. Nothing for him to take. So he's going to back. Not going for a gank.
Yeah, nothing for him to tank, and he is really not a good position for him to gank right now.
The engage, though, from Photograph, turned around by Frozen, and now Warplaque's going forward. Dash over from Warplaque, trying to get down the shutdown from him with the W. Now Hepate is dashing here, but Soximus comes in, bear smack the ground. Hepate trying to get some damage out, but there are 3 here. Bob Jones is going to grab one. Actually, Soximus is going to grab both of them. Warplaque has to run as everyone shows up down here. on the side of OOD, and now Django and Bob Jones looking for a dive here. They can make this so easy. Oh, the flash, so good from Warplack. And now, though, Bob Jones looking for a dive right here, getting him so low. He's going to do the tower dash, trying to run away. Django getting hit. Ooh, he might actually die from that turret shot. Oh, the minion. It doesn't hit him or target him, and he's going to go down, get out of there just fine. Dragon going over to OD. Turret going down for OD. OD just taking commanding control of this game. Oh, and now they might grab another kill. Street Smurf caught out. Photograph picks him up, and he's going to take him down. Soximus gives over the kill to his buddy, but gets the nice assist. And Demon Lord, ooh, he's looking for Bob Jones. He does ult into a move, but the damage is not blocked there. Demon Lord unfortunately misses the follow-up and isn't able to secure that kill. SGRs, things are getting pretty dicey for them.
I'd say that they're a little beyond dicey at this point. He does. SGR is really on the back foot right now. They're in a really bad spot. If you just look at the item builds as a general across the board, only components are on the side of SGR. Meantime, you've got the Kraken Slayer finished on Photograph. You've got the Trinity Force finished on Camille. You've already got the Chem Tank already up. You've already got the Zonias. There's just so many items ahead on the side of OOD that SGR is basically saying oh dear to themselves.
Oh dear, indeed. They're seeing the deer in the headlights right now, as OOD is just charging at them, taking names, taking kills everywhere. Demon Lord getting kind of low here, but I think he'll be out fine. And, you know, Photographs grab that red buff too. It's. I think they're getting ready to make some plays somewhere. They're already pressing forward into the blue side, blue jungle, and Tunes and Soximus get spot out, though they go right into Frozen. Frozen still goes at them, and maybe he didn't see them right away. He flashes over, but Soximus dunks over the wall, trying to run away. Django's here, gonna pick himself up the kill, and goes unstoppable. As they find the pick in the jungle, they're gonna find this blue buff too, and Baron isn't up, but they had to be on the back foot on the side of SGR. Hepate knows he's there, but he can't do anything about this. That bear is... This isn't Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolf. This is a little doll and a bear right now.
Maybe so, but that is Gwen stealing the Gromp away from Soximus. And Demon Lord Nanoi still hasn't morphed yet, so that gives me the impression that he's probably going Blue Cane. He's definitely looking for that extra effort right now. But I don't know if it's going to be too little too late.
On to Frozen. Nautilus ult coming through. Frozen getting out there. There goes Bob Jones ult, but the three-man Charmer, two-man grab Antunes. And now Warplack goes forward with the ultimate too. They are on the hunt. Django is off on the side. They got to be careful. Don't want to let him get in and onto the team. But they managed to get a return kill off of what looked like a great initiation from OOD.
That was a great response.
Django, Hepate dueling again. Django looking for a hunt here. Hepate getting low. I don't know if you want to go forward there, buddy. You could end up in quite a world of hurt, but he wants to get back to that turret. Demon Lord here looking for Django. Django's going to get out just fine.
Yeah, no, that's a situation where I feel like Hepate was going in on that because of the fact that Demon Lord Nanoi was moving that general direction, so they were going to try and catch him out. Soximus has done a really good job sticking by his laners and making sure that whenever they're overextending a little bit, that he's able to help respond. Right here, we're going to see
Django going in right into Hepate with the dive. Hepate cannot dash out. Django just takes him under the turret, goes dominating.
That Hextech ultimatum keeping Gwen trapped on the wrong side of the turret. If they had been able to go to the other side, they might have been able to get out, but...
Oh, Street Smurf getting rooted up by Antunes. Let's get away. Bob Jones here, too. The dunk from Photograph. Photo finish right there as they come out with another kill for themselves. All of the carries on the side of OOD, except maybe the Fizz. Like, all of them are so fed right now.
Already are so fed, and I really don't see a way back into this game for SGR. It's kind of the same situation as it was with RLS. The biggest issue is they've just given up too much ground at this point. So really what they've got to do is they've got to try and find either picks or just focus on getting as much farm as possible, getting themselves back into this game, getting themselves even, because with the amount of kills that ODR has gotten, they've just basically given themselves about 4 waves of minions for free.
Yeah, and the gold lead, you know, this is all reflecting so much in the gold lead. It's an 8,000 gold lead almost for the side of OOD. And, you know, we've got to start talking about, you know, if OOD wins this game, they will be ahead in the standings. However, they will be 1-1 in the season for SGR. But tomorrow, both teams play one more game. SGR has HBK and OOD has RLS. If SGR loses this game, they're going to be praying that RLS can make an upset and that they can finish off HBK because, or not, sorry, not RLS. They play, OOD plays Ace. Yeah, so they play Ace, and they're going to be hoping that Ace can get a miracle right there because if they can't, you know, they're going to have to be in third place and hang on. Django trying to take on Hippote, but there are 3 people here. Django on the run. Is he unchained? He is again. Gwen picks up the kill. Hippote gets the shutdown finally onto this Camille and gets some nice gold in the pocket, but the dragon goes over to OOD. They are on soul point with this Cloud Soul.
That was a good play by SGR right there, where they were able to. They had to, like, once again, you had to go for the 3-man gank in order to take down one target. It's not something you want to be seeing, but if it's something that has to happen, you got to make sure that you're playing to your win conditions, which is exactly what they're doing. They've got to be really careful. Demon Lord Nano using his ability to just kind of like hover in the shadows. They are basically going to be giving up Rift Herald for this. That's a really good call on the side of OOD. They want to just essentially close this game out as quickly as possible. Don't give SGR any more time to try and come back into this. Once Gwen does start getting some of these items, they might be able to do some more work. I'm not entirely sure if these tank shreds are going to be available, though. And so Volibear and Nautilus are both going to be huge problems for SGR because they're just going to sit on that front line and basically lock down any of the attempted diving on the side of SGR.
Yeah, and you know there's really, like you said, there is really very little tank shredding outside of Gwen getting more items on her on the side of SGR. Kais can do a bit of work, but you know it's just still gotta get the rest of her items on her. She's gonna get the lethality, but it's not gonna really shred a very tanky champion. I want to correct something I said earlier. I was actually right the first time. OD is playing RLS instead of Ace. I forgot. I mixed up. Pog is playing Ace, but yeah. So RLS, if they beat OD tomorrow, you know, and SGR beats HBK and this game holds, you know, we could have a tiebreaker on their hands. But if SGR loses this, like, you know, their fate is out of their own hands. And if you get third place, like, you're in the firing line of Tub trying to possibly pick you, and you do not want to face Tub in the first round of the playoffs. As Antunes gets caught out, gets hit by Frozen. Warplack trying to finish him off. They do take him down. The ult coming through from Frozen, and now they go forward. The ult coming through from this Fizz. Bob Jones taking a lot of damage right there. They're going forward. The flash forward. Bob Jones goes golden. Ooh, and they root up one. They take down Tristana. They take down the Fizz. 3 kills going over to SGR. They find a great fight. Django trying to get onto Hippote takes a turret shot. Let's watch the replay of what just happened here. Antunes walking way too far forward.
So this is exactly what SGR needs to be doing. They need to be getting these picks in the side lanes. They were able to get the stun from Braum right there, which allows for the rest of the CC to follow up. Next, you have Demon Lord Nano going straight in onto this Fizz, the next target that you really have to be careful about. Getting his damage out in through the ultimate so that the jump up doesn't actually matter. That's going to result in a good Baron call for the side of SGR. Basically, they're going to be able to bait Soximus in, try and get him to try and steal this, which might provide them an opportunity for them to get yet another kill, which would prevent the Rift Herald from coming down sooner. Regardless, though, it looks like Soximus is probably just going to give this up, which is the smart play. It's just a matter of that we've got a fight going on down by the Gwen Camille, which is kind of an interesting situation, but we have the Smite Steal.
Oh, such a good Smite Steal. And Django picking up the kill onto Hippote on the bottom side. Let's watch again how this happened. It looked pretty safe. It looked pretty secure. It was such a just abrupt steal. There goes. He drops he just dunks over the wall and immediately flashes back out. Just a drive by, or a bear by, as you could say. As Django grabbed that kill on the bottom side too. So SGR's that little bit of game they got back in there, a little bit of pulling back that lead. A lot of it gets wiped away immediately as the Baron comes down, and that goes on to all 5 members of OOD.
That is, yeah, that was exactly the opposite of what SGR wanted to have happen, because by Soximus stealing that Baron call, it was late enough that it was time to give it back to most of the or give it back over to Antunes. So now Antunes actually has the Baron buff as well, including Rift Herald in this. This could be the final push.
Yeah, hook onto Demon Lord, gets knocked in the air, but manages to knock up Antunes in return. Turret gonna go down. The Shelly, or Sheila, I think is the second one, gets the turret charge, but I mean it's already down, so it doesn't matter. And now it's gonna go for this inhibitor turret. If they crack this, the base is gonna, and I expect the inhibitor will fall too. It gets low, but there's really no one except Tristan to really poke at it, and there's a very strong front line, but the cannon minion is going to take it, and the hook lands onto Demon Lord. He gets the knock-up, goes in the ultimate onto Soxmus, try to get some health out of it. Still pretty low. The ult coming through from Street Smurf hits too. They stun up Soxmus. Soxmus getting very low. Ooh, shut down from Street Smurf. Hippote now going forward, looking for something. Warplaque looking for something too. Django going in, but he's really low. There's a lot of healing here. Warplaque ults forward, scares Django a little bit, and now they're hunting him down. Stuns up Django. Django gets the ult down, dives going forward. Photograph grabs Demon Lord on the side. Now Bob Jones looking for something right there. This may have been a little bit too much for SGR. They may have gone too far forward. Bob Jones getting so low. Q coming in. Antunes gets a hook, but he's going to give up his life where a Warplaque goes on a killing spree. And now, OOD might have almost turned that around, but they're going to have to scramble for the hills. This Gwen is starting to get a little scary. Yeah, she's not getting the kills, but her damage output setting up the rest of her team is becoming insane.
She is getting into that position now where she's able to do a lot more damage to these larger, beefier targets on the side of OOD. So now that they've actually scaled into the late game, I think I was wrong about my scaling for Gwen. I kind of forgot that she was... Late game, she becomes an absolute beast monster, and it was kind of one of those situations where...
Oh, hang on, the fight breaking out there. Soxmus goes forward with a dunk. Hippote trying to grab something right here. Gets the dash out, not going to die, but Frozen will pay first. Bob Jones grabs one, grabs two, grabs Warplaque and Gwen. Now he's going to grab a third there on Street Smurf, and it's just Demon Lord to try to steal this dragon. That might be the victory push from OOD. Demon Lord not even going to contest it. The Soul going over for free. As SGR, they should have probably backed there.
That was getting a little bit too big for their britches. I do think that this is exactly what I was referring to with Photograph. The amount of damage that Tristana is able to output, especially on objectives and turrets, just becomes ridiculous. So this is going to be a couple of inhib turrets and a couple of inhibitors, I think, for the side of OOD. It's going to provide a lot of pressure for them, which is basically going to free them up on the map. However, there's not another objective until Baron comes back.
The ult forward going under Warplaque. Warplaque grabs Photograph, takes him down, and the fight is on. Hippote getting low. Bob Jones going to just fall right there. Django going to fall too. OD may have stepped too far forward. Hippote, is he going to burn out? He is going to live with a sliver. How much health is that on that man? Oh, and he's got healed, so we're not going to see exactly. But that was probably sub 50 health right there as SGR holds on for dear life.
I'd say that was in the 20s. That was definitely sub 1 tick. So
yeah,
that was very, 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 very little health. I do think that where SGR is right now, they're still in this fight. They haven't lost it yet, and I feel like OOD is starting to feel this game slip through their fingers a little bit as SGR has started to get these plays that have allowed them to push back. OOD is still very much in control, I think, though.
Yeah, they're still very much in control. I mean, they've already cracked the base. They've cracked one inhibitor. And they've still got a very dominating position in this game. But you know, SGR is finding a way back into it. A lot of it, though, has been, and part of the problem for OOD is that I feel like the Fizz pick isn't quite working out like they are hoping it would. You know, it's a lot of its ults are landing onto Frozen. It's not hitting the priority targets it needs to. It's not able to just quickly burst. It didn't get that early lead that you kind of want of a Fizz, and it's running a Rift Maker, so it's not even going for the assassination. It's going for like the long duel on, or no, sorry, it's not. I look like Rift Maker. Okay, never mind. He's going. He is going assassin. I was really confused. I'm like, why are you building Rift Maker?
Yeah, he's got the Leandries or the Ludens. Sorry, he's got the Ludens on there. One of the things though is he's not been. If we look at some of these fights, he isn't diving onto the back line when the rest of the fight has started. That's either because he's arriving late or just doesn't have the angle. Which is really important for Fizz. And so he's really got to work on his positioning a little bit, I think, using that leap in order to try and get over the walls and things of that nature. It's one of those situations where SGR has a way back into this. It really isn't that far gone of a conclusion.
Yeah, and they, you know, they're the goal lead isn't complete because I mean, technically, like, there's the dragons on the side of OD, but I feel like Kayn itself is worth some gold, like a little bit of gold once you evolve him, just because of all the extra abilities and stats you're getting out of him. So that, and he evolved finally. He did pick the red cane in the end.
Mhm.
Realized, my team really needs me to tank. I'm gonna have to become a bruiser. I'm gonna have to try to buy some space in the front line for them. And I think it's actually working really well. I think the red cane actually was the right choice. It's getting knockups, getting time for them to just quickly take out a target before they can respond. And it's even knocking up Django. And speaking of Django, he goes forward towards Demon Lord. Demon Lord just going to run out, though. Django didn't realize there was more than one person there. And now the Baron is up. I think that's the call. OD going to try to look for this, or they're actually just kind of waiting, trying to bait, trying to find something here. The knockup from Demon Lord goes forward onto Bob Jones. Django shows up just to scare them back. Warplaque, I would not take that. It's a one-way trip. As Hipate goes over, looking to try to maybe flank on the side. He has been spotted out. Django goes toward him, though. They're going to try to dive him. Hipate on the run, getting solo. Goes Golden, though. Try to spare himself sometimes. Soximus goes with the wall. Photograph takes out Hipate. Soximus over here on the side, though, will go down. Bob Jones also getting low. Going forward, they get the kill onto the Cane. They get the kill onto the Seraphine. Warplaque trying to find something right here. Trying to grab anything. Just dancing around this fight. Flash, dash, down he goes. It's a quadra kill for Photograph. And that's gonna be the game.
See, that right there is exactly what I mean. With Gwen getting caught out like that, being slightly out of position, the damage that they needed was not available for the fight, which means that Photograph was then able to just free shoot from a distance. You had the Volibear doing the split damage as well. Really, really well played by OOD, and that's going to basically shut down SGR. Ooh, Fizz survived.
Yeah, Fizz just barely survives that, and now OOD takes sole possession of second place. There's still a possibility of a tiebreaker tomorrow, but it's looking very slim, especially with how dominant OOD was looking for most of this game. And, it's going in, I like the comp idea from the side of SGR, but I feel like the pieces they weren't fitting quite well together. The Cane, he took way too long to evolve. Feels like he was probably sitting on red. It felt like he was sitting on red for a while. Maybe we just didn't. Maybe we misestimated the souls he was grabbing. And the Gwen, unfortunately, it did better later. Unfortunately, just had a rough laning phase.
I honestly, I feel like if we were to look at red, he was sitting on the evolution of being available for a while and was basically wanting to go blue Cane. Decided that he couldn't, and then basically went red. That I'm not going to say that it was the wrong choice. I'm not going to say that it was the right choice, just because of the fact that Blue Cane does have some advantages over Red Cane with his mobility. Basically he would be able to do what Fizz was trying to do the whole time, getting in onto that backline with his speed, and I think he would be able to actually burst down the Tristana and the Camille before they had a chance to respond, which would have eliminated a lot of damage. But again, it shoulda, woulda, coulda, as you can always speculate, but we'll never really know.
We'll never. Alrighty.
Oh, so he did get red at 15 minutes, so it wasn't like he was able to get the souls for it.
Yeah. So he just didn't have enough. It's always hard to tell because the souls scale with time, what their value is. So I'm always thinking like, oh, he's out by this point. It's like, but I guess he didn't really get many ganks after this certain point in the game, so he didn't really get as many souls. But it was a good try. They still have time. They still can it's on their hands, but there's still a chance they can make playoffs. RLS makes the upset tomorrow and SGR wins. Then they'll go into a tiebreaker against each other. But we'll have to see how that shakes out tomorrow. We're going to go to a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with an interview with OOD's Django right after this.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here for the second interview of the day. I am joined by Django, the victorious Camille from Team Udir. How you feeling after the win?
Really good, really good. That was a fun game.
So you were on this Camille here, up against the Gwen, the classic scissor lady fight in the top lane. You know, you are subbing in for this game. Talk to me just a little bit about your thoughts about the draft that you guys put together.
So this draft, okay. So blue side, they first picked Seraphine. Our comfort picks are the Volley Bear. So because it's a flex, so we can just early pick it, and then we are comfortable on Tristana too, so we just pick that. They answer Kaisa Kane, okay, and then we pick Camille because we can start banning out champions after R3, right? We ban out Aurelia just because it's their comfort pick, and we ban out Alistar just because it's a synergy with Kaisa. And then we insta-pick Nautilus to just make sure that Seraphine is still mid lane, so that we can counterpick the Seraphine as well mid lane.
All right. Well, you guys, I mean, honestly, it's good to hear that you guys had such a clear read on this draft, especially since you guys did need to pick this game up in hand for your team to break the tie going into the final day of games tomorrow. So, really, thank you for the insight. Basically, is what I wanted to say. Let's give me a little bit more insight then on this laning matchup you had. You were quite domineering actually in this matchup against the Gwen. What are your thoughts? And she did also bring out to her credit, or her pet rather, brought out the Ignite. Also.
Oh yeah.
So
she actually first blooded me. So this is what I'd say is one of Camille's worst matchups actually. Because she can dodge your healing with her E fairly well, her dash, and you can't heal off Gwen as well when she's in her zone, and then she also has increased auto attack range, so you can't really trade auto attacks with her. So this is like a hard favored Gwen matchup. I was hoping that she'd go TP flash and I could kind of cheese her with Ignite TP, but she ended up going Ignite TP. If I assumed she was going to go Ignite TP, I probably would have gone TP flash and just played safe. But it was just Ignite TP versus Ignite TP, which is favored for Gwen. I just did the best I could.
Yeah. Hey, you guys chose to scrap it out for the content, so appreciate it on the broadcast side. You were pretty dominating in this, as I said. You guys, or your team rather, will be playing against RLS tomorrow. With the win, as I said a second ago, you guys actually are now ahead of the team that you just played. Now in the matchup, both of you folks are favored tomorrow, in my opinion, in the matchups that you have. So, what are your thoughts on your team going forward in this game tomorrow, and then also going forward into playoffs?
I do just think that our team's just gonna sweep through. So there's not too many thoughts I can give on this.
But that says enough. The confidence in your teammates when you're the sub and you're there to be that sixth man. You just like, my boys got it. I'm just here to help. Yeah.
I'm just chilling on the bench. These guys, they're good enough to take it home by themselves for sure.
Exactly. And I mean, hey, maybe they'll be nice enough to sub UNC, for the content,
Sure, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Yeah.
All right,
I'll just be on
Django.
the
Oh,
bench.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I'll be on the bench, just chilling, waiting for my time to shine.
Well, I mean, with this game, people gotta fear that Django in the back pocket could, with these best of 3 series, he could be the trap card, So
True.
Good
True,
showing.
true.
Good showing today,
Thank
Django. Thanks again for this interview. Do you have any final thoughts for us before we step away to the third game?
Final thoughts? Not really. Not really. Yeah. My boy's just gonna take it home. That's like would be my final thought, I'd say. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
with that, folks, we are going to take a short break, but then we will be back with the rebroadcast of Game 1 from today. So don't go anywhere, and we will be right back. Sorry, I was...